Well, it's time to switch the planter over from corn planting mode to soybean planting mode. So it's easiest just to take each one of these meters off the planter. We got to go dump the leftover seed corn out of the mini hoppers on the meters. So we split the meters, replace the corn singulator with the soybean singulator, swap out the seed plate for the soybean plate and the knockout wheel for the double soybean knockout wheel. Put them all back together, put them back on the planter, and we're ready to roll. I have always loved getting people out on a gravel road and letting them see the farm life firsthand, whether it's in the field at our full-time farming jobs or here at home on our own little cattle ranch. So now I'll bring the camera along and you sit back and ask the questions. Let's explore this Midwestern farming and ranching lifestyle together. This is your channel. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch. Well, big day at the farm today. We got the planter switched over to soybean mode while the weather was nasty, and we missed out on a bunch of the rain we were supposed to get the night before last, and the forecast looks terrible after today. So we're gonna try to get some beans in. It might not be fit, but we're gonna give it a try and see if we can get over the ground. We're gonna have to put up with some conditions that are not ideal, I'm sure, but we're gonna see what we can do, and hopefully it works. Well, we're kind of in the process of trying to decide whether it's fit to plant or not. We're getting some mud gummed up on the gauge wheels. We're finding some spots that are just going to be too wet to get anywhere near them. But we just kept going for a while and decided that the way the weather forecast was, we had to keep rolling. We don't do any tillage ahead of time. We no-till our beans, so we're driving right on top of the old rows of corn so that the planter units are running right in between the old rows to get a good place to put those beans in the ground. Guys, I can't believe how far we've come. In one day, if I can have good luck for another 20 minutes, in one day we're gonna get all of the beans planted. Incredible. We had a neighbor that stepped up to take care of our custom work for us so that that could get done while we were busy planting our own beans. And he had a pretty major breakdown. So I'm just getting ready to load up the last of the beans to go finish the final 10 acres of that custom work and call it a spring. Then we can get worrying about whether or not everything's gonna come up and get ready to hitch onto the side dress applicator and put on some nitrogen, because that's gonna be just around the corner. Then we can start worrying about baling hay and all kinds of things like that. But guys, I just can't believe how great things have come together the last few days to get this crop in the ground. Let's finish it off. Well, that's all, folks, for planting 2019. The corn is in the ground, the beans are in the ground. Now it's just time to wait and see what happens. We did not plant anything this spring in ideal conditions, and not even close to ideal conditions for most of it. A lot of it was scratching our heads, wondering whether we should be doing it today, whether we should be waiting for things to improve. But right now I'm really glad that we did everything that we did, because the lightning is flashing very close to us right now. The radar has got us surrounded, and we're about to get soaked again. Well, I would say good morning, but the only thing good about it is the fact that the beans are planted. And that is very good. What a mess. We were just supposed to get maybe 1/4 of an inch of rain overnight. I've already got 1 3/4 inches. And there's a bunch of rain coming. It's going to rain hard for a large portion of the morning. Anyway, feels really good to be done with the beans and the corn. I put the planter away last night about, I don't know, what was it, 1:20 in the morning, and it started to rain just as I was leaving from parking it. Whew! What a spring. Anyway, big thank you to our neighbor Ben for jumping in his tractor yesterday afternoon at the last minute and coming over to help out with that custom work that we had to do and get that done so we could concentrate on planting our own beans. Everything just worked together perfectly and we managed to get it done just in the nick of time. So big thanks for doing that. That's just the kind of neighbors you have in small town Iowa. Anyway, take it easy. We'll see you next time.